Good afternoon, everybody. Happy lunchtime. Thank you for joining us. We are glad you're here. My name is Kim Gant. I'm the Historic Preservation Programs Manager at the DAHP. And today's topic is how to do a record search or a literature review using the reporting map tools within Wisaard. The session will be recorded and we'll post it on the website later on the Wisaard system page with all of the other tutorials. I'm sure that Maddie or someone can put a link into the chat about our links for our tutorials. Just here, I want to give you a heads up. Look at our upcoming DAHP Academy lineup. So tune in next week for How to Consult with DAHP, Section 106, featuring Maddie. You can find the lineup and Zoom links to the meetings also on our website. DAHP Academy now has an entry point right on the front page of the website. So all you have to do is go to dahp.wa.gov. It's right there on the front. Just click in and you can get to all the training. We also send out reminders via email and Facebook, so you can be our Facebook friend, or sign up on our website for the emails. Just scroll to the bottom and click Stay Connected. I have not scheduled, so you'll see this is DAHP Academies. I have not scheduled the next Wisaard short yet, but I've got it in my head. I think it's going to be how to upload reports in Wisaard, so stay tuned for that. That'll be the next one. So let's get started. So just a note before I get started with this demo. So this tool is only available to users with archaeology level access because it contains protected data. It contains archaeological sites. So if you do not have archaeology level access, the tile will not show up on your dashboard. I'm also going to go ahead and turn off my camera because you guys will look at the screen. Okay. So from the Wisaard homepage is where I am. You'll be logged in. And you'll see the map tools right here. So I'll go ahead and I will click on this tile. Sometimes for some of you, it might ask you to log in again because it's kind of a separate little widget in our interface. So it might ask you to click your credentials again. So you should be able to just click through your credentials and get logged in. Okay, when you first get in, you will come and we'll show you this splash screen. Note here, it says click on the I button to learn more about how to use these helpful tools. So right away, I'll go ahead and click OK and show you where the I button is. It is right here. I've got a bunch of text written in here, some helpful reminders, and some little tutorial about how to use this tool in case you just need a little refresher or you don't have the video right here with you. So this feature enables drawing shapes or uploading shapefiles, adding buffer distances, and downloading the results into a spreadsheet. It's very helpful for record searches and literature reviews during initial cultural resource investigations. It is also useful for creating maps you can print out. Although it looks like this is part of Wisaard, it is different than Wisaard, and there's limited functionality. It is not for searching or viewing the data. It is for drawing or uploading shapefiles, adding a buffer distance, and getting basic data to download so you can manipulate the data on your own. You can draw a shape on the map and download spreadsheets of data from the Wisaard application, but you can't upload a shapefile on the map and you can't add a buffer area. So that's why I created this tool separately, because the Wisaard doesn't have that functionality. This is meant to bridge that gap. This is a tool that's an ESRI out-of-the-box kind of map tool. Because of that, you'll notice differences in functionality between Wisaard, which is a custom user interface, and this thing, but the data is exactly the same. It's pulling from the same data. So I'll direct your attention to the up left-hand corner. Each one of these little guys is called a widget. This is one that contains the information on how to use this. Refer back to it as you need to. The best way to get to know what the widgets are capable of is just to use them and experiment with clicking buttons. It's important for you to know that you will not hurt anything by clicking buttons or making lots of maps to test functionality. It'll let you click what it wants you to click, and if it's not available, then you can't click it. So important to note that any settings, anything you change in here will not be saved after you close a session. download everything that is important to you. If you've, made a map or gotten some search results, make sure you download those before you close, or it won't be there when you get back. Another thing to note right off the bat, there are no alternate base map choices in this application. So the base map that you see here, which is like just the standard base map, is the only choice in this application. So let's look at this first widget here. So this is the layer list widget. It'll let you turn the data layers on and off. Data layers appear on the map with the same symbology that is in Wisaard. I'm going to zoom in, so because they're based on the extent of the zoom. It will stay grayed out until it gets to the right extent. Then you can see the layers will show up. You can click on a shape to identify, and the pop-up will have basic identifying information, but is not meant to show everything that Wisaard shows. You can't get to a report, you can't get to the inventory form from this map, and you can't search for resources on this map. You cannot download shapefiles from this application. So there's a lot that it doesn't do, but Wisaard does all of that. So this is just meant to be able to create a buffer and download. The basic information here on this pop-up, you're going to have an identifier that you're going to be able to use, and that's for property anyway, for its property ID and the address. So this is going to be basic information. That's the layer list. I'm going to skip over here to this draw widget, and I'll come back to this one in a minute. The draw lets you add shapes and text to the map. It's not a selection tool. It really is just a draw tool. It is useful for creating PDF or JPEG maps for reports. Once you draw on the map, the shapes and text that you draw will show up in the layer list. So you can experiment with this and get an idea how it might work for you. I can draw a rectangle, change the color of the rectangle. If you scroll the box, it'll show you the options that are available to you. You can get area measurements, change the color, change the opacity, etc. Click on the little text button, put the text in the little box here, and then it'll let you put it on the map. If you click here on the layer list while you're doing that, you can see that text and areas is now a layer on your map with the symbology. It will also show up if you go to print it. So once you have drawn on your map, you can print it if you like. Go to the print button, print widget. This tool will download in a couple of formats. PDF, JPEG is good if you're just trying to drop it into a report as a photo. That's pretty helpful. You can edit the map layout before downloading it by clicking the advanced. Some of this stuff you'll never use, and some of that you might. You can change the author to your name, and you can change the title of the map up here on map title. And importantly, if you want the layers and attributes to show up on your legend, you want to click this Include Attributes button. Some of this stuff is configurable and some of it isn't, and it's just an out-of-the-box tool, so we don't have any control over what's configurable. So just experiment to see what works best for you. So I'll just pause here just for a minute to see if there's any questions about the printing or the layers on the map. We all good, Maddie? Okay. I'm going to clear my map of the drawings. Go to home. Start fresh. So the main focus we want to talk about today is the map, which is this guy right here. This is what to use to add an area on the map and retrieve search results. You can draw a shape, upload a shape file, or enter coordinates. and then add a buffer distance right here. You can export results in a results list in either a pre-formatted PDF or in the Excel raw data format. The maximum number of records that will be exported is 2,500 per category. So if you have a giant shapefile or a giant shape and you have more than 2,500 resources per layer feature, then you will not get them all. You will get up to 2,500. Hopefully your APE isn't that big. But the data will be exported even if the layer is not turned on. So I don't have any layers turned on right now, but wherever I draw the shape, it will export all the data. I'm going to demonstrate with a little shapefile. So I will click the shapefile button, click upload. We'll go to my desktop and grab my shapefile, zipped shapefile. It's thinking, it's zooming to the spot where my shapefile is. Then I will put in a buffer. You can put anything you want in here. I'm going to put 0.2 miles, but you can choose between miles, kilometer, feet, meters. And as soon as you put in the 0.2 and just kind of click out of the box or click enter, your buffer's there. You just have to zoom out a little bit to see it. So there's my little buffer. Okay, and then once I have that, I can click report. It will do a quick search and it will show you where you have resources in there. So it looks like I've got 5 archaeology sites that are points and 4 archaeology sites that are polygons. And that is what's in my little shape. If you click on the little plus sign, you can get a brief list. It's just going to basically show you the Smithsonian numbers, just a basic list. So here is where the fun begins. So the first thing you can do, if you press print, you can get a pre-formatted PDF with the results. This print button right here on here is different from this print button here. So this print button here, which is in this widget, will print the results. This button, again, only prints the map. So I'm going to go ahead and print. It'll open it up in a new tab. And this is all like formatted stuff. It'll make you a little, you can change this title up here. It'll make you a little map with your area and then give you a summary of all the counts and the names basically, and then separate them out per feature. So then you can just go ahead and download that when you've got it where you want it. But the most fun part of this is the downloading of the spreadsheets. So this is the thing everybody wants for their record searches and literature reviews. What will happen here is you press the download button and it'll give you the option for a CSV, which is a comma separated value, which is basically the raw data in an Excel spreadsheet with no formatting. The tool exports one Excel file for each category of results. So if you've got archaeology, points, lines, and polygons, they'll be all separate spreadsheets. So property inventory will be all separate spreadsheets. It would be great if they could merge them all into one, but that is not the case. So, but we end up with one for each one. It will only download things with results in them. So if there's zeros, there won't be any downloads. The files will probably go to your downloads folder unless you've got your machine set up for downloads to go someplace else. That's not a Wisaard setting, that's a setting on your personal machine. So if you want all the data in one sheet for analysis purposes, you're going to need to compile it. So I'll pause here for any questions about how to use this little widget so far. Okay. Hearing none, I will go ahead. Okay, I'm going to go here to my downloads, and I'm going to open up one of these sheets with the data. Okay, and here's what it looks like when you're going to open it up. So some of these columns are going to be useful to you, and some of them are not going to be useful to you. So you just have to learn which ones are useful to you and extract them, or delete the rest. We just haven't had the time to configure this so it's polished, but the raw data that you need is here. So this is archaeology site polygons. The other data categories, like if you download the HPI or the cultural resources report, they're going to have different columns because they're different data sets, but we'll just focus on this one for now. So in this sheet, for example, columns A, C, D, E, F, G, H, and N are all things that you're not going to need. They're mostly back-end unique data identifiers and stuff that you won't need for your record search. They will serve no purpose to you. So don't go looking for them in Wisaard because they don't exist. Just don't let them confuse you. The basic thing you need for the archaeology to compile your own sheet. So column B is the Smithsonian number, which is what you need. Column I is the agency ID, which translates into Wisaard as the field temporary ID. So if you go to the field temporary ID on the ArchiSite form, this is the number. Column J is the eligibility determination and the date. Column K is the comments field on the ArchiSite form. And column L is the site name. Always good to have those. Okay. I am not going to go over all of the different sheets today, but you get the idea. So I'm going to pause here for any questions about the downloading of sheets, or if anybody would like to see anything else, because that really is the extent of this tool. And I was really serious when I said this was a Wisaard short. Maddie, is there any questions in the chat? If there are, I can't see it.
No, there isn't. Just
Okay.
a comment. So
Great. Well, good. I will thank you all for coming then, and look for this video to be added to our Wisaard help page. And reach out if there's any questions. You can always reach us at support@dahp.wa.gov. Maddie, am I forgetting anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, thank you all so much and have a great day.
Bye.